we got something new today. Something new from a company called ASHANKS, I believe it's called. For those of you that have been watching my videos for at least the last couple days or last couple weeks, you've probably seen a couple different reviews with a couple different gimbals. So I had my Smooth 4 gimbal that I brought out. I think that's over here well, I have it. Smooth 4 gimbal. I also have the Canon M gimbal, which is here. It's Canon M gimbal. But we're doing something a little different today. Something a little different. It's like we're going back in time a bit. Roll the intro. Alright, so today, this is upside down, it looks like, yeah. This side maybe? There we go. This is a stabilizer, but like a manual stabilizer. This is one of those steady cam styles, glide cams. We've all heard of those, especially years back when we were shooting with bigger cameras. For most of us, if you wanted to get any kind of cinematic look, and we couldn't do it with a cell phone, and we couldn't do it with even an SLR camera. Bonus of these, of course, is their weightability and nowadays their price. So before I even open this, $85 Canadian. $85 Canadian for this, and I believe it says it holds 7.7 pounds. Considering that my other gimbal for cameras right now goes for about $400 or $500 compared to $85, that one only holds like 1.8 pounds, I believe it is, or less, versus almost 8 pounds. We're gonna crack this open first, and we're gonna see what's in the box. Handy knife. Ready? I'm gonna tilt this up so you guys can see it. There you go. That's what's in the box. It's pretty tiny. And actually, I thought there would be more putting this thing together, but it looks like it's already put together, which is fantastic. This is it. I'm gonna use my knife again. I'm gonna not hide behind this. Well, here, take this styrofoam piece off. In the box is I'm gonna call it like a steady cam, glide cam, whatever you wanna call it, and a little bag. Now, there's something in the bag. There's something in this bag. So what's in the bag? What is in the, oh, so this is like I think this is the head. So this is the head. This is what you could have mounted on your camera. So you could have it all balanced. Then all you would need to do is slide this in. So that's cool. So you get the head, which is great. You get a little bag and some silica gel. Bag's gonna be big enough for the glide cam, smooth cam, whatever you want to call it. And move that stuff over here. One of the big issues I have with all stabilizers that don't come with like a tripod is being able to stand them up while you're trying to balance them. So I may actually keep that piece of foam. Part one, here you go. This bag and this 2 1/4-inch threads at the top. Part two is gonna come up right away. I'm gonna mount this camera. Not a big camera, but just Canon SLR. We're gonna try to balance it, and then we're gonna go outside and see what it's like. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so we got the stabilizer all set up. We're here outside, and we're gonna go take a look. It's amazing how many cars just come by. I swear to God, I've been outside here for like the last 10 minutes, and not a car. Hit the record button, car. Alright, so we got this stabilizer, and I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna do a quick little walk both ways. We're gonna record that. Make sure this is on, and we'll go inside after and see what the footage looks like. Alright, so I'm definitely curious to see what this is like. We'll go inside and take a look. Why not? Alright, so I've opened it. I've taken it out to try it just so I could see some of the footage. And now I'm gonna review it. One of the things I know, because I've been told this by a lot of people before, is that when you're using a manual gimbal stabilizer, a manual stabilizer, you really have to learn how to walk properly. You can see that because when I was walking a bit, especially slower, when I was slower, the camera had a little bit of a this sway to it. Not a lot, but a little bit. And maybe, you know, if I can fine tune this a bit more, I could get that. But honestly, I think it's me. I just have to make sure that I'm walking in a certain way. Okay, so I'm gonna blame that one on me. Smooth wise, actually quite surprised. It's way better than I thought it was gonna be. And when I was running, which was the second trip, it was actually really good, and it barely had any roll to it at all. It was actually fairly solid. I think that's actually really good. Now if I were to run this footage through like a stabilizer in your editing software, you may even be able to get some of that roll out. So that could be good. Few big things that I find that are important when you're looking at this, and these are positives. First off is price, 85 bucks Canadian to get this. If I was hand holding this, my footage, honestly, running, walking, shaky, there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. Some of us that have really steady hands can probably hold a camera and do some of this, but as soon as you start moving, it's gone. Just accept it. The other thing is the weight capacity for this. Again, I showed you some of the other gimbals I have, and one is for smartphones, cool, and one is for like mirrorless cameras. If I were to put, for instance, my 7D on it, even it couldn't hold it, especially with a monitor or a microphone or anything like that on it. This, over 7 pounds. And you can see that when I have this camera on it, I had to pretty much take all the weights off, take this, and almost put it all the way back up versus having it extended. Putting all these weights and all that on would counter a pretty big camera. Be aware of that. This, for me, would be something that I could probably use for a ton of different cameras, or if we were shooting something and somebody brought over their own camera and I'm like, oh my gosh, that thing's huge. Not gonna work on my stabilizer. Gonna work on this, yep. So that's awesome. The only downside, and it's not really too much of a downside, and it's something that cinematographers and videographers have been doing for years, is that again, you have to learn how to use this, right? It's not a pick up and the motorized gimbals do everything for you. You have to learn that you have to be fairly steady automatically. You have to learn that if you're sitting here, one hand should be in here to help it with rotation, right? Very lightly, just to kind of get it to spin like this. That takes some practice. It does, it takes some practice. So for those of us that are used to like a 3-axis gimbal, a new one, you'd have a thumbstick for moving that. And you don't have that, you have a handle, that's it. But again, for the price, for $85, I think this should be in everybody's toolkit. It's important. It can be hugely beneficial for being able to move different cameras and really big cameras and their accessories onto it. So that's cool. In a upcoming video, I'm going to be doing this soon, hopefully, is I'm going to put this up against this. So $85 manual versus, it's about 400 American, so let's say $500 Canadian, fully automatic 3-axis gimbal. What's the difference like? What's the benefits? What's the negatives? We're going to talk about that in an upcoming video. I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to pack this up. I'm going to let you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do it. Hit the bell. Hit the bell. It's over here. Hit the bell. And if you want one of these, because I think they're kind of cool, I'm going to leave a link to the product down below, and you can go pick yourself up one. Alright, my friends, we will talk to you later, and have a good one. We'll see you in a couple days.